This is a story about how control of critical resources has become a new front in the rivalry between China, the EU and the US.
It's about the merging of economics and geopolitics, and about the risks of being dependent on other countries in an era of trade conflict and strategic uncertainty.
Imagine being blindsided by a pivotal shift in global power. Rare earths and energy have become political ammo, and the US just got hit where it hurts. Trump shocked as Canada and China push back, and the US economy takes the blow. We're talking March to June 2025, global capitals and boardrooms in upheaval. In early April 2025, China slapped export restrictions on 7 critical rare earth elements, heavy ones like samarium, dysprosium, terbium, and others, plus magnets, across the board, not just targeting the US, requiring special export licenses. The timing, boom, right after Trump escalated tariffs on Chinese goods. Meanwhile, Canada ramped up its resource diplomacy. In Ontario, a startup backed by Amazon, Microsoft, and BMW, Cyclic Materials, is building a rare earth recycling and research plant slated to open Q1 2026. This is clearly Canada saying, we've got minerals too, and we're stepping up. At the same time, in London and Geneva, US and China struck a fragile truce in June 2025. As part of a framework deal, China agreed to resume rare earth mineral shipments to the US, especially magnets. But the US did not roll back its export restrictions on AI chips. All these moves are hitting home in real time. China's chokehold on rare earths, accounting for over 90% of global heavy rare earth processing and output, means the US and its manufacturers are scrambling. Export controls have disrupted supply chains, and numerous US defense and aerospace firms face delays. The US economy, strained. Tariff ripples are already hitting consumer prices, input costs, and household budgets. The unpredictable targeting and retreating of trade policies have muddied business planning and sentiment.
Journal reporting that China began letting more rare earths flow when trade tensions cooled back in June, but now supplies, a mineral specifically used for defense, have remained tight. Reports say that prices of some key minerals have now increased 5 or 6 times.
But there are moves underway. MP Materials in Texas resumed NdPr metal production this year. Apple injected $500 million, and the Department of Defense greenlit a new rare earth magnet facility dubbed 10X. Meanwhile, other countries and even the EU are pushing for strategic reserves and more resilient supply chains. So China clamps control, Canada counters with recycling and minerals, and the world braces for disruption. The US economy is treading water. What's next? If the recycle and remine projects in Canada and the US plus new domestic magnet production accelerate, the US may break free, but that takes years. Meanwhile, strategic reliance on China continues. An uneasy, fragile truce, not real decoupling. The consequences are real. The US risks national security gaps in defense technologies, from F-35s to submarines that depend on rare earths. Consumer costs are up. Trade volatility is the new norm. Trust fractured, allies diversifying. Subscribe, hit the bell, weigh in below. How long can the US hang on to economic and strategic dominance when energy and rare earths have become weapons? What path forward? Escalation or cooperation? The rare reality is this: without critical minerals, even the mightiest power is powerless.